Hey Jen, I can't find that video that I was referring to, that tutorial, so I was going to shoot an updated one, and I just wanted to walk you through CC Connected, just in case you weren't already familiar with it. I have gotten the feedback in the past that the CC Connected website is not the most user friendly, and so for some people it makes it really frustrating to find documents, and it's a little bit overwhelming. And I agree, that is true. However, if you can learn to navigate it, it's a really awesome resource with lots of stuff that I think would definitely be right up your alley. So I just wanted to walk you through it a little bit to show you around. Um, Sometimes you need a little more time. Oh, okay. So this message in yellow has just changed within the last 5 minutes because I was just on here. And so what this message is telling us is that all the files that have been loaded onto CC Connected for cycle 1 were scheduled to be deleted today, but it looks like they have extended it to June 1st. This is great, but it can also be confusing, and let me tell you why. Cycle 1, with the new guide, some information has changed slightly. So some of the sentences have changed their wording, some of the weeks have been moved around a little bit. And so if you download a document that was created for the previous version of cycle 1, it may not line up exactly. So this is a good opportunity for me to remind you that if you are downloading anything between now and June 1st, you want to make sure that it either says 5th edition guide somewhere in the description, because the 5th edition guide would be our most current version of the memory work, or you're going to want to double check it with the 5th edition to see if it's the same, and update it as necessary. So if you're going to use it at home, and it's a 4th edition, just make sure that it's not one of those weeks that got switched around. So keep that in mind as you're downloading documents and getting ready and stuff like that, that you'll want as much for the 5th edition as possible. Okay, so let's get into CC Connected, into the subscription. Actually, before we do that, I just want to highlight this little student tutorial section. It is free to use on the website, and what it does is it gives you access to the memory work for each week and the music or the chants that are on the CD right here on the website. This is only available for streaming, though, so you would not be able to download it. I do want to add to that if you start using this over the summer, if you're checking it out to see if it's something that you would like to use, I would caution you from introducing cycle 1 to the boys this summer, only because if you introduce it to them before we get started, they will be likely less engaged in class, and it will make it harder for them to concentrate and pay attention and to benefit from what we're doing. So my recommendation to you would be, if you choose to start checking this out at home, do it for cycle 3 instead, and that way you can still introduce it to them and see if it's something that would be useful to you without exposing them to, all the work for cycle 1 that we'll be doing on community anyways. Which brings me to just a short little, what does this community look like? When we introduce the information at CC on Fridays, we are introducing it. So this ideally would be the first time that you and the kids are encountering that week's memory work, and then once you are introduced to it on our community day, you will reinforce it at home for the rest of the week until you come back the next week and you get introduced to a new set of memory work. So keep that in mind. We've had some families who have spent all summer memorizing all the memory work, and it kind of is the opposite of how the program is set up. So I just want to clarify that. So yes, if you feel like you want to do something, start playing around with cycle 3, since that's what we've already done. But please don't stress yourself out over feeling like you need to get it all memorized or you want to get ahead or anything like that, because you're not behind. You've got plenty of time. CC is supposed to be fun and encouraging and not stressful or overwhelming. It's supposed to enhance your homeschooling, a journey, and not frustrate it. So keep that in mind. If you like this student tutorial site and you would like to have access to this more easily, this here on the website is free, but it keeps you tied down to your computer. There is an app, it's $15 for each cycle, and you can download the app, and that gives you access to the same information in a more flexible way. So you can use it outside, anywhere you want, on your phone, in the car, or on the couch, or whatever. It just gives you more flexibility with the app. But the app is a paid app. It's $15 again for one cycle. So I would recommend playing around with this free online version to see if it's something that you would even use before you decide on the app. Personally, we've never gotten the app. We've found other ways to use the memory work, and we do download the music on our phones and things like that. So we've not used the app, but we have other families who couldn't live without the app. So really, everything is different for every family on how they use it. So let me know if you have any more questions about that. Okay, back to CC Connected. Okay, so you're going to go here to File Sharing. And once you're in file sharing, it's going to take you to this page. And what the people who have access to download all these documents is anybody who is registered with CC and has a CC Connected subscription. So that means that you now have access to download documents that you may create on CC Connected, and you can share them with other people. And you'll do that here at the Upload a File section. It also means that these documents are not perfect. So you may have some errors on them because these are not filtered through CC necessarily. They're not official CC printed documents. They're documents that other parents have created to share with all of the rest of us. So double check the information carefully with your guide and just confirm that it's all accurate as you go through. There's not typically very many errors, but it happens, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so here you're going to go to the Foundations tab, which should be the only option you have. You can also get subscriptions to Scribblers and Essentials and Challenge as the kids get older, but for now, Foundations is all you need. You'll click on the cycle. You can either choose all cycles to make it a general search, or you can go to a specific cycle, like 1, 2, or 3. Again, you can select a specific week, or you can make it general and select all weeks. Same with the category. You can either go specific or just make it general. Uploaded by, this is very helpful if you are referred to a specific user and you want to try to narrow down all the documents that this specific user has created. For example, Melody Stroud is a user that has created these really great flip books in the past that we use in our family, and so every cycle I try to get on here and try to find the documents that she has created. So I might just click on find her name, Melody Stroud. Here we go. But you could leave this blank. You don't have to choose a name. This is just one way to help you narrow it down, like a filter. And then her document is, I'm pretty sure it's a PDF, but it might be a Word document. I'm not actually sure, so I'm going to just put all file types. You could even just leave it at select file types. And then here, you can choose to leave it blank, or you can, if you know the type of document, you can type in the type of document. I know that the document I use for Melody Stroud is a flip book, so I might type in flip book or flip. I try to keep it as general as possible because sometimes the more specific you get, the less results you'll generate. So I try to just be kind of general or less specific on my searches. For example, if I typed in flipbook as one word instead of two, it might change the result. So that's why I try to do that. And then this is just a super personal thing. It's not necessary, but I like to do 60 just so that I don't have to keep on refreshing the page. It gives me more results per page. Okay, so in this case, Melody has only got 4 documents in the system for that have the word flip in them. And so here are those documents. Let's see, here you would choose either to preview the document, which I would recommend, or you can choose to download it if you know exactly what it is. But since I'm not exactly sure if this is the one I'm looking for, I'm going to click preview. And okay, this looks kind of like the one I want. It's not the exact one I want, so I can go back and I can look at this one and see if that's it. And I can decide, okay, do I like this one or not? Let's see if anybody else has created a flip book that maybe I like a little bit better. So I could go back up here and go to upload selected by and just make that blank, and then I could type in flip again and then apply. And let's see if anybody else has some flip books here. Ooh, okay, there's lots of flip books here. So this is all by week. I know there are some files here that are all the weeks. Maps. Here you go. I'm going to check this one out because this looks like it's all, oh, 8 by 11. That's a giant one. So this is actually a link to an outside Dropbox file, which is fine. If you do this, if you copy these links, you just have to be logged in to CC Connected when you click on this link. Otherwise, it will not give you access to it. So just make sure you have that open on another screen. Okay, I can look at this one maybe. Okay, yeah, this is actually the one I was thinking of. This one's for cycle 3, but I really like the color here. I like that it's, you know, more pastel, and for me it's a little more pleasing to my eye, and my printer will love me because it's not so color heavy. So it's really the same thing, just a different, you know, different style. Lots of people do different styles. So I would definitely download this for cycle 1 when it comes out. And then look here, it says the user is Keppel. So I'm going to keep a little note of that, and maybe later in the year I'll try to find all of the ones that that user has created. Oh, look here, cycle 1 5th edition. So this is a perfect example of, you know, where you want to make sure you're getting the 5th edition and not the 4th edition, so it's most accurate. Ooh, I like this. I really like those maps. So here you would download that, and I might do this one. I don't know. You have some options there. I will say with the maps, I just want to show you one thing. This is like totally a personal thing, but see this map here? I would likely not use this map for my kids. I might use it for me to reference, but for myself, I prefer to use the maps that look more similar to the map in the guide, because for my kids, when it's familiar to them, it's easier for them to reference that in class when we use our maps in class, which is the map from the guide, or the map from the trivium table, which is the map from the guide. So I would keep looking to see if I could find somebody who created a map that looked more similar to the one that is, yeah, see, this one's totally different from the map in the guide. I love this map. It's really, really fun, but my kids have been known to especially like Hunter, he'll get a little bit more confused when the maps don't look the same. So keep that in mind as you're deciding what you're going to use. Okay, another thing here that I want to show you is, say music is a big thing for some families. Most kids learn best to music. Not all. I think Hunter is one of those that don't learn best to music. He would rather be bouncing a ball or jumping on the trampoline or doing something more kinesthetic to learn. But most kids like music, and so music is something that you will find a lot of families really try to gravitate towards CC Connected so that they can download music files. So if you wanted to find music files specifically, here's where you would do that. You would go select file type and then MP3, and then you could click even cycle 1 here, and then select apply. And these songs are not the CC official songs. So these are not the songs that you're going to find on the CD, but these are songs that you that other moms have created and have uploaded, and those songs can be really fun too, because oftentimes they are sung to familiar tunes. Like here's a good example. Linking Verb's song list to the song Jingle Bells. So that might be a more interesting song to your kids than the song list that's on the CD from CC. So we tend to do a mix of the CC songs, and these CC Connected songs. So that's one other really great benefit here of